Well, good morning from Porto San Paolo. We've finally got ashore. It's taken 4 days to find somewhere we could actually leave the boat and actually come ashore. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, but very busy. There are boats everywhere. There's dinghies everywhere coming from all the other big boats, little boats, lots of guests, little ferries taking people everywhere. So we're going into town just to have a bit of an explore. So how was your negotiating with the guy?
Yeah, first of all, the first guy didn't understand a word of English, so that was difficult. Then he fetched the other guy, which is a marinero, and he just tied us on. And,
this was for the dinghy?
Yeah, I gave him €5 just to keep him sweet, and he winked at me and clicked and...
Good. So hopefully he'll allow us to stay there once or twice this week. But dinghy's tied up there on the pontoon, but as I say, very busy, so we'll show you around. So we're kind of in the middle of town, and we've come across a car park, and they're cooking, well, animals. They look a bit like sheep, so lamb presumably. They've got tables and chairs over there. Not quite sure what this is all for, but I'm sure we'll find out at some point. Yeah, what a beautiful town. It's clearly for the people with a bit more money. The buildings are all pristine. There are virtually no bins anywhere, so to try and find a bin, you have to walk for miles. So we're on the scrounge for bins and the gas bottle shop.
So we're in the market. It's a mixed market, so it's got food, it's got clothes, it's got everything else. Cheese, sweets, clothes. It's not a big market, but it's alright, isn't it?
Nice though, yeah? Like it? Well, we found the gas place, not due to be open till tomorrow, but we thought we'd come and do a bit of a recce and see where everything is. And there are bins, so that solved 2 problems in one go. And basically, just follow the river all the way up from the seafront. So that's what we're going to do to walk back. It's not too far actually, we came out of our way a little bit because we weren't quite sure where we were going. Go and find a coffee now. Picked up Yvonne and Paul yesterday and we're just having a bit of an explore. We haven't been up this way before. Paul's gone for a run, so we're just having a wander. Very nice.
Oh, a shell or something.
Our own desert island.
Right.
It's only tiny, but we thought we'd come across, have some drinks. Got some friends coming over as well. We've only got about 7 knots of wind and we're doing about 3 knots. And where are we going? Does anybody know?
I have no idea where. Oh,
Arancini is what we were joking about. So it's,
That's further around, isn't it?
yeah. Oh, I don't know. Don't know where we're going. So we're going to a bay. We're going to stop overnight tonight and maybe tomorrow night, depending on how pretty it is.
That's pretty massive.
Huge. Isn't it? I don't think that cat's moved.
So we've got a dolphin that's come into the bay. I think it's a single dolphin, and we have got God knows how many boats following it. The poor thing. It's as though nobody's ever seen a dolphin before. Yeah, I know we're watching it, but that's different. Oh my God, that must be why they're all here. It is there somewhere, I have seen it, so yeah, so the anchorage is quite full, as you might see. It's probably one of the most crowded anchorages we've been in yet, so we're moving on tomorrow because it gets a bit much after a while. We're heading to a bay, I can't remember its name, we'll let you know later. Yeah, whatever. Not a lot of wind to start with. We have to do quite a bit of jibing, and then the wind came round and we've got it on about 50 to 60 degrees now, full sails out, doing about 5 to 6 knots, which is absolutely brilliant. How are you guys? You okay?
Yeah, fine.
We've gone well past. I was going to say, how far out are we going?
We're looking at
We're going into that bay there, aren't we?
Yeah, quite a few boats out today. He's heeling over nicely. Big mega yacht over there, and we're heading down there. I'll be there in about an hour. So yesterday we sailed down from Porto Paolo. It was about 30 miles, 32 miles, something like that. A bit of a frustrating sail really. Sailed most of it, but I think 10% of it was on the engine. Wind was switching all over the place, and it was up and it was down. So we spent the night in a little bay. What's it called? Do you know? Liberato I think it was called. Probably one of the most swelling nights we've ever had, all night. But it was the only one that had really any sort of protection. No wind, but lots and lots of swell. So we're on our way this morning. We set off around 6:30 this morning, just as the daylight broke. We're on our way down to Arbatax and stay there for a few days. We've got anything between 9 and 15 knots of wind at the moment. It's on the beam, and yeah, we're doing a good sail at the moment, doing anything between 5 and 6 knots. Should take us about 5-6 hours to get there, and once we're there, hopefully we'll be in a nice calm anchorage. Sorry? Yeah, we can get some sleep. Didn't sleep at all last night really. Maybe the odd hour here and there, but nothing much.
It was rough. Well, that was a sudden change. We were doing quite nicely there at about 15 knots of wind maximum. Just picked up to 24, so put a couple of reefs in the Genoa. Probably need to reef the main. I've got one reef in it already. It's a bit lively.
A bit lively, yeah, doing 8 knots though.
Yeah. Sea state's okay actually. We haven't got too much of a swell because that would be slowing us down. But yeah, that was a bit hairy. Well, it's a bit of a rough ride. We've done about 16 miles so far. Hasn't taken us very long because we're doing up to 9 knots. We've got about 5 reefs in the Genoa, hardly any of it out at all. A couple of reefs in the main. The wind's topped about 30, 31, but we're getting about 24, 25 at the moment. But it's the sea state, as usual, that's creating the havoc. It's pulling us all over the place. We're doing well. Kevin's been hand steering the whole time actually. He said it's so strong, powerful, that he thinks, oh, I'd struggle with it. So we're making progress, but it's yeah, a bit hairy to say the least. We've just seen another couple of yachts below us in the more southerly direction. Goodness knows where they're heading. But yeah, we'll let you know how it goes.
So we left Arbatax about 9 o'clock this morning, and there wasn't a lot of wind to start with, but sun picked up as we left the anchorage, and we've kind of had about, what, 12 knots average since we set off, and that's been anywhere between sort of 60 degrees and 120 degrees. So, so far so good. We're sort of heading a bit south because there's more wind down the south, so, and there's a big hole in the middle tonight and tomorrow.
Got a 2-day sail now.
Could be 3 depending on the weather.
Yeah, got quite a big swell actually, which is obviously slowing us down a little bit. But
yeah, wind's dropping a bit now at the moment.
yeah, You can see it over there, the white tops over there, so
yeah,
go further south then.
we did keep a reef in the main because it was forecast that there was going to be some strong wind coming round the peninsula at the bottom, heading up this way. So we did keep a reef in. So we could be going a little bit faster, but we'll just keep it in a bit longer and see what happens. It's coming round to the beam now, so yeah, should be there by Thursday morning,
Maybe.
Thursday lunchtime, Thursday evening, whichever.
So what's going on?
Oh, wind. Well, we were doing really well actually. We were sort of 4 to 5 knots with the beam reach, and then all of a sudden the wind just died off and changed direction. So it started to come from the opposite side of the boat, so we dropped the sails because there was so much swell. It was going to wreck the sails. So we dropped the sails, the wind went down to like 2 knots, 3 knots. And then, like I say, it swapped sides and it's back up to 10 knots on the opposite side now. So we're back up with the sails. We've got a reef in the main because it looked a bit choice. Full Genoa now.
So yeah, so we're 6.5 hours into our journey. We've done 5 hours of sailing. So far we've had to use the engine for about, well, an hour and a half, over an hour, which is a bit of a pain. But hey, we're sailing again.
Coming to the end of the first day, and it's been a bit of a challenging one really. The wind's been nowhere near what it was supposed to be. We've only had up to 16 knots, which has not been too bad, but it was supposed to be a following sea and a following wind, and it hasn't been. It's on about 40 to 50 degrees at the moment, but we've got a good speed. We're doing about 4 knots. We've got a reef in the main because we're going into our night watches in a minute, and the sun is just slowly going down.
Oh, we just had tea.
And we just had tea, and we had a lovely chili.
Well, we're on day 2. How was the night? We covered about 105 miles in total. Over the last 24 hours, we left at 9 o'clock in the morning yesterday, and the night was actually better than we expected. Now the reason we're motoring is this swell. I don't know if you can actually capture it, but the waves are really big and the sails were just being battered everywhere because we've only got about between 4 and 6 knots of wind. So this has just been causing us havoc over the last hour or so. So we've just taken the sails in and we thought we'd motor and see if we can get past it. I'm not sure we can. But this is kind of the swell that we had constantly on the north coast of Sicily and the Aeolian Islands. And it's just, yeah. And we've decided to just carry on because we've got wind. We've got about between 9 and maybe 11 knots of wind. And it's great, it's really nice to be sailing again. We haven't sailed properly for ages. Sick of using this engine thing, so we're sailing out. We're just going to try and get along the north coast of Sicily, get as far as we can towards Messina. That's the plan. So we've got full sails out, obviously, because we haven't got a lot of wind. And it's lovely. So nice. There aren't many boats out now. It's about the 6th of September, so of course most of the locals have actually gone back to sort of work or school this week. So yeah, nice and quiet. Great. We've decided to come through the Messina Straits. We're going from north to south and we've got a nice current. We were doing 6 knots with the engine on, well, kind of 1,000 revs, something like that.
Doing 7.
Yeah, we hit 7 knots. So we've turned the engine off and we're just bobbing.
Well, we're just drifting down the current.
Yeah, so we've got a gentle current. We've got a smidgen of wind, which is just keeping the sail out, but not a lot.
Yeah, so the seagulls are in the middle of the whirlpool, so I'm assuming that it's pushing the fish up. Yeah, good feeding time for them.
We've got a whirlpool just built in front of us. So it changes our direction incredibly. It's quite surprising. You wouldn't have thought it would. And there's also one of the sword fishing boats. I feel it's been bobbed around now by the whirlpool. Well, back in Taormina. Got the bus up this time. Ula is right down there. Somewhere. Can't quite see it. Had to move last night. We had quite a lot of swell come in from the southeast. And we were down in this corner. And the swell was horrendous, so we had to move. So we've taken Ula down there to the bottom. A little bit of swell overnight, but brilliant in comparison to what we could have had. So we've got the bus up here. Just going to have a wander, have a coffee, try and have some lunch. But as you can see, it's really busy still.
We're on our way to Syracuse. Set out about, what, 11 o'clock this morning?
Yeah, just after.
Wasn't a lot of wind to start with, and there's not much now, but I think we've got about 8 or 9 knots. Unfortunately, we've got some thunderstorms. We've just had a bit of a downpour, got a bit wet. It was forecast, so it was expected, but yeah, luckily the wind's not picked up too much. I've got the cruising chute out, because we've only got light winds. I think we're pushing along at between 3 and 4 knots on about 8 knots of wind, so hopefully at some time in the night we will arrive in Syracuse. If not, we'll just pull into Augusta if we get tired.
Yep, see how we get on. So far we're doing okay. Well, this is the aftermath of having the cruising chute out. So we had to re-sock it, put it back in its blue sock. We had to drop it mainly because the sea was so rough that we were just being thrown from side to side, and it was kind of not good for the sail, and we didn't have a lot of wind, so we decided to drop it. But this is kind of what happens. You end up dumping it through a hatch and just leaving it here, and it's a little bit wet as well, so we're going to have to get it back out onto the deck when we arrive wherever we're going and try and get it dry before we try and put it away in its bag. So it's a bit of a pain in the neck, but